Whew, it's been a hot minute since I did one of these, and the primary reason I'm doing this is if there's anybody interested in one of the two products that I'm going to be talking about from WeatherWool today. The first one, or I don't know, one of the two is going to be the Whipcord shirt. Let me pull up the page for the two items that I'm going to be talking about. Should have done this, but most of the things that I do in life, I wing. There's not a whole lot of planning, and that means that my life is typically rather exciting and always a bit of a surprise, but it also means that there's a distinct lack of foreknowledge about what I'm about to get myself into. Okay, so here's the first item that I'm going to be talking about. How do I do this? There we go. This is the Whipcord shirt. I have it in drab green, and I have the extra small. So I have the extra small. Yes, the extra small. And I am 5. You can see how it fits on me. The sleeves are a bit long. It'll probably shrink if I wash it. The other things that I've washed of WeatherWool has shrunk, but you can kind of avoid some of that if you know what you're doing. You can stretch it out and what do they call it? Forming it or something like this. It's, fitting or pressing. There's some phrase, some term used, like locking it into place. And then the other thing that I'm going to talk a little bit about is the pants here, the denim jeans. Is this them? Cargo shorts, yeah, the denim jeans. And I have these in, not walnut, I have them in black. It's these guys right here. And I have them in size 28, which is as small as they come, and they fit me just fine. I don't need a belt, but I should probably wear a belt. I am 5'5", yeah, a little bit taller than that, maybe 5'5.5", 5'6", and about 130-ish pounds, 132-ish pounds, to give you an idea. I am fairly slim and lean. Okay, so where I want to start with talking about this shirt, and honestly, kind of anything WeatherWool related, any of their products that I have. I have purchased an anorak, 3. Well, I haven't paid fully. I've got a lending library CPO, but 3 CPOs. My wife has one. My wife has a white one. I have one in lynx and a drab green one. This pair of pants, and then a blanket, a small little blanket, and I think that's it. So somewhere in the range of like $3,000 worth of WeatherWool stuff, and I don't regret a cent of that. So let me just get that out of the way. When you see higher end items and you see the price tag of $525 or on a shirt $400, I absolutely can understand somebody going, what am I paying for? Why should I do that? I can go to Goodwill and find a dress shirt for $5. Yeah, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. But is that going to be a shirt that you want to live in? And I'm not talking about some like crazy rare, ultra good quality find shirt that you get. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about just a regular old, it was originally sold at JCPenney, something cotton shirt. Are you going to live in that shirt? I guess you could. How much leaning on your elbows is it gonna withstand? How much just wearing and living in, just using this thing on a regular basis? I'm not talking about a shirt that you wear once in a while. I'm talking about a shirt that you live in. And I can honestly say that since getting the WeatherWool stuff, I basically live in it. So let's start there. Is the price worth it? Yes. Now, why is it worth it? Well, I can point to one very clear example. I have 2 actually, but I'll give you one exceptionally clear example of an item that I purchased, and it completely changed my thinking around that type of an item. This is an iPhone that I purchased. Not this. Thank God, not this. But my previous phone was an iPhone 16 Pro, and I got that phone because my wife and I decided to switch from the Google Fi plan that we had. We'd recently got a Costco membership, and we went to Costco, and they were talking about, they had T-Mobile there, and like, hey, what do you have? And I wanted an unlimited plan, and I wanted reliable data, for reasons that doesn't matter. And I was like, okay, we're going to pay about double to get this, but let's do it. Let's give it a shot. And yeah, sure. I've heard so many good things about iPhones. Let's get iPhones. I have never, I mean, truly, I have never in my life hated, absolutely hated a piece of technology as much as I hated that iPhone. Maybe you've seen the things out there where people are trying to type things and it inserts wrong letters into your typing. That happened to me constantly. The voice dictation was abysmal. It was absolutely atrocious. And one of the things that I hated the absolute most, let me show you this right here on my phone. All right, this is the volume display. See that over on the side? This is my light thing, but okay, let me hit that again. Now, if I hit these three little dots, look at this. This is my volume options on an Android phone. I can change the media volume. So if I go to YouTube, that's its own individual volume. I can change the call volume. I can change the ring volume. I can change the notification volume. And I can change the alarm volume. And you might think, who cares? Volume's volume. No, it's not. No, it is not. Because there have been so many times I use the varying volume on my phone daily, every single day. Because sometimes I'm in a moment where I want all of these notifications to be down, but I want my alarm to be up. Or other times I don't want the alarm on and maybe I want it kind of high, but there's other people around and I'm just making some pasta or something. So I need it to go up, but I don't want it to be blaring loud. I'm not trying to wake up from a deep sleep. So I'm futzing with the volumes all the time. On the iPhone, you get volume. So the real downside to that is that if you're trying to wake up at night from a long sleep, and you've got your alarm set, so you've got your alarm volume really high, just the volume really high, I should say. There is no separate volume. Then all of your volume is really high. All of it. So that means if your buddy sends you 12 texts in a row about some funny meme that he found, that's going to be as high as everything else. Enjoy. I hated the iPhone. I absolutely hated it so much. I checked constantly when we could upgrade and get rid of those phones. I wasn't going to try and sell them at a loss. So I guess you might say, well, if you hated them so much, why didn't you sell them and get rid of them as soon as you possibly could? Look, I've sold a lot of things on Craigslist, and yeah, I could have done that, but man, it wasn't worth. I guess I didn't hate it enough to go through all of that because I still wanted a phone, and then I would have been out with a phone, and it was so much of a headache. It's like losing your wallet. It's not the money, the $5 in cash that you maybe had in there, if you had any cash at all. It's losing all the cards and the stuff and all the canceling that you had to do and trying to swap from one phone to another if you're not able to do it in a store and go, here's my old phone, thank you for the new phone, is a real pain in the butt. So we waited and we got new phones. This is all to say that my opinion about phones drastically changed. I kind of thought that iPhones and Android phones were basically interchangeable. The last time I had an iPhone was an iPhone 4S back, like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago from where we're at now in 2025, whenever that one came out. They're on the 17 now, so if that gives you any indication. And I don't remember it being so bad. It just was a phone. I don't recall. I don't know. But as time has gone on, they have utterly butchered the operating system. Now I wonder if you are wondering, is there anything that you liked about the iPhone, Dell? There was one thing that I did like. When I used the flashlight, little built-in flashlight, I could adjust the brightness. That was kind of neat. I kind of liked that. But it wasn't enough. That is a real small thing. So what does that have to do with items? Well, the point with all of that is that sometimes when you get an item, it changes your mind about the way things work and the way that item can be. When I got this Whipcord shirt, I'd already had multiple pieces of WeatherWool gear, but as soon as I put my fingers on it, as soon as I felt it, I go, oh, this is a little different. This is, and I'm being hyperbolic there. It's really different. What I'm going to say here is probably going to make Ralph, if he watches this, absolutely cringe and just act like I just shoved 20 lemons into his brain. But I don't know how else to describe the feel of this aside from luxurious burlap. It is not rough like burlap, not even remotely close. It is Of all of the WeatherWool stuff, I would say it is the most wearable thing that I have. None of their stuff I would describe as scratchy. But when you think of wool, you think of stuff that's got a little bit of scratch. Even sometimes merino wool has a little bit of just kind of a subtle prickliness to it, kind of a felted feel. It's not scratchy. It's not sandpaper. I mean, there are wool blankets that I've felt is like, okay, who's going to wear this? This is awful. When I was a kid, after watching Braveheart back when that came out, I wanted a kilt. I was a young man. I was highly impressionable. I mean, I wasn't even a young man. I was like a 8-year-old boy or something. I don't remember how old I was. I was a kid, and I wanted a kilt. Well, the closest thing that we had was a plaid wool blanket, and that thing was scratchy. And so me wearing that around my waist with a belt, it was not the most comfortable experience, I'll tell you what. Anyhow, I wear this against my bare skin. I've got a t-shirt underneath this just because I just like to have a little bit, an extra layer. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and so I just want an extra layer. I typically wear a t-shirt along with either this shirt, which I've been wearing since I got it, but other than that, I will wear a CPO. And when I say I live in it, I mean I don't take it off unless I'm showering. But surely, Del, you take it off when you... No, I don't. When you... No. What about when you... No, it just stays on. I sleep in it. I wake up in it. It stays on. I don't take these things off because they're that comfortable. And so I sleep at night with a blanket basically up to my waist, and then I'm in either this, if it's a warmer-ish night, or I've got the temperature in the house turned up a little bit, or if it's a cooler night, I throw on the CPO. And I've been doing that for the last basically year, aside from some real warm nights, since I got the CPO. I really don't take it off. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is these pants, but I guess I should finish up with the shirt. Is there anything that I dislike about the shirt? No, there's not. I don't love how it fits on me, and I did think about swapping this out for an extra small, but I am inevitably going to have to wash this at some point, and it will shrink a little bit. If I'm careful, it'll shrink a little bit. If I'm not careful, it might shrink a lot. The CPO and Lynx that I have is a small, was originally a small, but it is shrunk down to probably smaller than an extra small. So the next time I wash it or get it wet, I need to, whatever it's called, when you stretch it out a little bit. So I need to maybe set some kettlebells on it, pull it out, do a little bit of stretching. And the thing about wool is that it is so tough. The fibers, there's a I think his name's Cody, which is the guy right here in this picture. A video that he does showing the difference between regular wool denim jeans and these jeans. And he takes sandpaper and he eventually gets to a power sander, an electric sander, and he's going through, and the cotton does not stand up because the threads, the fibers themselves that make the threads, which is then turned into a textile, are really short compared to the long strands, which has much more connective attributes to it. The wool does, is what I'm saying. So cotton, wool, longer strands, stronger material. There's just more overlap. So this shirt is incredibly comfortable. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's a little bit big on me. But I don't hate that look. My wife said it looks really good on me. So I don't dislike the look. It's got kind of a, it's not the kind of like fitted look that I usually go for, but I don't mind that. It is so incredibly comfy. Is it lighter than the CPO? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like maybe 1/3 the weight of the mid-weight stuff. So like a quarter of the weight of the full weight, maybe like a fifth. It is. And I'm not necessarily talking about the actual weight of it if you were to put it on a scale. I mean the feel of it. I'm talking about the difference between like a super heavy terry cloth, double-sided, it's fuzzy on both sides, bathroom towel versus one of those cheap one-sided, fuzzy on one side, SpongeBob print on the other side, or it's kind of smooth on the one side, fuzzy on the other side, Walmart $5 towels that you take to the beach and you don't care about. It's that level of difference in weight. It's the feel of it. But this feels, I'll see if I can get, I don't think it's going to get close enough, but my camera doesn't like to get real close, but there's a texture to it. Maybe, I don't know. There's a visible texture to it. Visible and felt texture to it. Not felt like F-E-L-T. It's the same spelling, I guess, but not felt like felted material, but the way you feel. When you touch it, there's ribs to it and bumps, little bumps, and it feels, it just feels really nice. It feels quality. And apparently it has to do with the whipcord weave of itself. And this brings me around to kind of a main point of this thing. When you are spending money on a high-end thing, I'm doing this because some stuff is, oh, we're high-end, we make good quality stuff. Oh, do you really? Where do you source your buttons? Well, we just get them from the cheap button place, okay? Where do you source where does your textile comes from? Oh, it comes from a factory that we found that makes medium tier stuff. Okay, well, where does the fibers come from that goes into the threads that makes the textile? I don't know. We don't know. Oh, we don't know. There's only 2 companies that I know of that pays attention all the way down the chain of where the cotton in the one hand is grown and where that comes from and where it gets turned into the textile that gets turned into their garments. And then on the other side, the wool. The one is Wonderlooper. My wife has a hoodie of theirs, and it is a very nice cotton hoodie. And the other side is the wool. This wool on this shirt came from one ranch, the Innes Ranch, INNES, in Gillette, Wyoming. So all of the wool, 100% of the wool in this shirt came from one place in Wyoming in the United States. And then it was turned into threads that was woven on a loom into this, and then it was cut and formed, I believe, in New York, I'm not sure, into the shirt that you now see me wearing. Is it worth the $400? For somebody like me, absolutely. Absolutely. I live in my WeatherWool stuff. And the level of quality that I'm getting for that $400 is well worth it to me. The other thing is the pants. I'm wearing them right now, and I don't really feel like taking them off. You can look at them on the website. You're going to see way better pictures than I can get here by standing up or showing them to you with my fuzzy camera. I mean, I can show you that I'm wearing them. These I do take off when I sleep because I don't really like to sleep in pants. I just like the feel of cool cotton on my skin. It's just, I don't know, it's just a personal thing. Grew up in Arizona, and I always liked that feeling when I would climb into bed after a long day playing out in the warm summer sun. I don't have any complaints about these pants at all. I have not yet washed them. They don't stink. There's no smell. Wool does not hold smell. I think it was 8 or 9 months before I first washed that CPO. Didn't smell. I just kind of thought, maybe I should wash this. It's been a long time, and I've been wearing it for more hours than not every day for the last more than half a year, so maybe I should wash it. I probably didn't need to. I probably really didn't need to, but I did, and okay, there we go. Do I have any complaints about these pants? No. I guess it's a super minor complaint. Be aware that if you get them, they're going to be long, and so if you're short like me, you're going to have to get them hemmed. Oh darn, so I finally got my pants after waiting a year, because when I ordered on the first batch, when I became aware of them, I ordered a size 30, which is what I typically wear, failing to realize that they are 2 sizes too big. So if you typically wear a 30, you want to go down the next size. The reason for that is, as it says here somewhere, I thought it did. Maybe about the sizing. Yeah, the jeans fit relaxed with a 32-inch inseam if you want a more fitted look, size down. The 32 measures 33.5. Yeah, so I would say definitely size down if you want it to fit a little bit better. If you're tucking big, bulky things in, go with your normal size. Get 30 if you wear 30. But when I got the 30, I sent a picture and a little, I think maybe a video to Ralph and friends over at WeatherWool and showed them, like, I can fit my arm down the side here. These aren't going to work. Sent those back. I wore them the one time to try them on. And then I had to wait about 10 months before they had the size 28 in stock. Got them, hemmed them. They're great. The only thing that I would like to suggest to Ralph and co. is I think, subtle modification. It might be complicated. I don't know. So let me see if I can show you this. So this pocket right here, if you can see, that pocket does not allow for a hand that is very big to go in. I don't have big hands. I told you I'm 5'6", and I have average hands for somebody my size. I wear gloves that are mediums or large depending on the company. But I can't get my hand into these pockets without scraping the sides of my hand. Now, these are cell phone pockets, and so normally that doesn't matter because I'm just reaching in with my fingers. I'm good to go. No big deal. But there have been some times where I've dropped some coins down there. I just needed a quick place to drop them, and I didn't want it clanking into the other things that I had in my main pockets. And then I had to dig it out, and I had to kind of do one of these things where I'm going in and just pulling the coins out. So my suggestion, let me pull that thing back up, is to, instead of having this be a straight line here on the pocket, have it curve a little bit. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So instead of this being just straight across like that, have a curve. Just have the zipper come around the side so that you can zip down here and then peel this open a little bit and then get your hand in there. I don't know how much extra work that would put on the seamstresses, the tailors, whoever's doing this. I guess it's a seamstress, not a tailor. Tailor modifies clothing, I guess, right? I think. Anyhow, maybe that's too much of a big ask. I don't know how many more pairs of these pants I'm going to purchase. These items are kind of like, once you own it, you don't really need a whole wardrobe because it lasts, which is kind of the beauty of it. People are like, oh, why am I going to spend $500 on a pair of pants or $400 on a shirt? It's like, well, because it's the only shirt you're ever going to need again. You buy two of them in two different colors and you're good. That's the shirts. You're done. You don't need shirts ever again or for years and years and years. It's like the boots that I own. I own a pair of Russell moccasin boots, and that completely changed my mind on boots. Oh, Thursday Boot Company, get out of here. Oh, this company, oh, that company. Oh, look, we have high quality boots. No, you don't. No, you do not. No, you do not. If they're handmade in Wisconsin, then maybe you do. If you have a pair of Nicks or Whites, then maybe you do. Yeah. But if you're paying $100 for your whatever boots, your Thorogoods or your Thursdays or whatever, no, you don't have good boots. You don't. I'm sorry that you think you do, but you're mistaken. And are they going to work for your day to day? Probably, sure. But are they going to last? I don't know. They might. The only high quality good boots that I know that are mass produced are Red Wings. Those are some good boots. My wife has a pair of those and they have lasted many years. My Russell moccasins I had to send in for one repair in the last 15 years that I've owned them and had them resold twice now, I think. And they are hands down, not even remotely sort of close, the best boots I have ever owned. If you find a company that makes high quality clothing or gear, support that company. And I cannot speak highly enough about WeatherWool, both the products that they make and their customer service. It is by far and away the best customer service that you will ever encounter. It's not even close. They respond in an exceptionally timely manner. It's them that are responding, Ralph and his sons and his wife. Like, it is actually them. It's not some person. It's not some rando that they've outsourced this to. No. It is the people behind the company. You can call, you can talk to them. I've done this. They're the people that I interact with. I just had a little bit of a hiccup because I'd used two different emails about a purchase. I think it was actually this purchase. And so I wasn't on the log with the one email. And so they got it and they synced it up and it was just a simple email and bada bing, bada boom. We're all good to go. And here I am living in my new shirt. If you are on the fence about purchasing something WeatherWool, I would be highly surprised highly surprised if you purchased it and you thought, no, this isn't for me. But the thing is that they'll take it back. By all means, they'll take it back even if you've worn it a year. I mean, that'd be kind of ridiculous. I wouldn't suggest you do that. You shouldn't do that. You should know within a week if you want something or not. And to that point, you should go to the lending library. You can go right here. Let me show you. I've got it bookmarked because I check it on a regular basis. This is the Lending Library Plus. If you go to shop, if you're on the main page here, and you go to shop and you go down here, Lending Library Plus, and you go over here to Lending Library, you'll see the price of $30. Any of these items in here is $30. So I just regularly check because I look for things that are small or smaller. And so like right now, if you go under the CPO, where is it? You can see that I have the, right here, WP, has the CPO extra small drab green. Customer did not wear but held it for 6 weeks, and so I'm going to get a savings of $100 because somebody just held onto it and it's basically new. The original I mean, I got my first CPO like this right here. If you wear extra large, this is an incredible deal. Fair condition, was dry cleaned, 200 as is, fabric damaged underarm. Included extra black fabric. I would say that if you wear extra large, that is hands down an absolutely insane deal because that's normally $600. I got my first CPO for I think it was $200 because it said like well used or something. So yeah, there's some, you can see it's worn on the elbows. There's a part on the pocket that's a little frayed. Could not possibly care less. Could not. I mean, it wears phenomenally. I've gotten compliments wearing that thing. A guy, I went to a Filson store and he said, "Oh, how'd you get that WeatherWool?" And I said, "Well, I just ordered it." And he's like, "Oh my goodness, I know people that have been waiting for months." Well, I guess they didn't know about the lending library, so it popped in there and I swooped that right up. You can find some absolutely incredible deals in there. You pay $30 for the shipping. If you end up going, it's not quite for me, you can send it back. They send you a return label, so all you have to do is provide the tape because you've gotten a box that it came in. Throw that return label on there, send it back if you don't like it. If you do like it, they reduce that $30 from the full price that you see right there, and so you save that right there. I cannot speak positively enough about the company WeatherWool. If you are looking for a high quality shirt, jacket, pair of pants that you can wear all the time, purchase something from WeatherWool. You will not regret it. Unless you just, I don't know, don't like wool. But this is not like any kind of wool that you've ever encountered. I promise you, will put your hand on everybody that I've asked to touch one of these things. They're like, that's wool. It doesn't make sense how comfortable it is. It does not feel like wool. Yeah. So in closing, do I recommend you getting either the Whipcord shirt or the pair of pants or a CPO or an anorak or a blanket? Yeah. Yes. Unquestionably. Like it's a 10 out of 10 on every single point. Customer service, quality, wearability, look, etc. Phenomenal, absolute, incredible pieces of clothing. I'll see you in another 6 months when I make something worth sharing on here. All right, bye.